Pac-12 is over. Heading into regionals this weekend. Men defended their crown. Women came up a little bit short and were second in Palo Alto. And now we're looking forward to getting as many kids back here to Eugene in a few weeks as possible. I saw some stats saying that we had the most entries into the West Regionals with 61 or something like that, and going to be there at Sacramento. And of course, it's the old adage of top 12 advance onto nationals.
How disappointing was that for you to sort of lose a streak for the women?
I don't necessarily know if it, of course, it's disappointing, but it wasn't one of the big things that we harped on for us. Like I think I said before, hats off to them. They did a good job in executing there at the meet. And it'll give us a new goal to try to right the ship back when we do it again next year.
Robert, how enjoyable is it going to these regional meets or these preliminary meets?
I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of regionals, but this is kind of the way our sport is set up to go through these things. And so when those are the rules, we'll play by those rules, and we'll do well at playing by those rules because that's just our mentality. No matter what it is, we'll figure out a way to be successful at it. And so these are big meets, long meets. So the things that we're trying to get away from as far as track and field is concerned, you see the Diamond League meets and how they have select events and they run them in 90 minutes and those things to make it exciting. This is the anti to that. Not that at all. So we'll go there and put our best foot forward and try to get as many kids back to Eugene as possible.
Is this meet more nerve-wracking for you than maybe a championship meet?
Yeah, a little bit, because it's you do or you don't. You execute or you go home. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And with so many numbers there, some of the things there are just different.
Would you prefer a strict descending order list if you were going to rewrite it?
We had a descending order list at one point in time that I think was very successful. I saw some people talk about how that's just the way the NCAA sets up the meet. If the NCAA does something different, then we would do something different in how we go about our season. One of those things to where dual meets is a big thing that people are talking about and miss, and dual meets can't survive based on how the NCAA has set up our qualifying procedures and how you go about it. And so we're just doing what you need to do to be successful.
Would a straight descending order list be dual meet friendly?
I think so.
Yeah.
It'd definitely be a lot more dual meet friendly, because you could go there and compete and get the marks that you need that way as well. So it's definitely dual meet friendly. You see some of these big relay meets that are taking a bit of a hit because of some of the qualifying procedures and stuff. So I think the straight descending order list would definitely be dual meet friendly.
How nice is it to actually have the West Regional in the West this year?
Hey, I just said that at the Oregon Club just not too long ago. For the first time in a long time, we're having the West Regional in the West. I think we've been everywhere but the West, so definitely good to see that, and we'll try to make the best of it.
Obviously that 200, 400 double is pretty hard. But what went into the decision to put Mackenzie in the 4 versus the 2?
One of those things, Drew, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's definitely hard, and if you look at the history of the event, there's very few that have ever tried that double there, and to be able to pull it off takes a special talent and a special person, which we seem to think Mackenzie Dunmore is, but for the simple fact that she's going to be running more than just the 2 and the 4. She's got some relay duties there, and with the time schedule, it makes it tight.
So did you just also like her times better in the 400, saying, hey, we think she has a better chance of scoring in this particular event?
No, not really. It's just a matter of things where we put her in the best event where we thought that she would be successful at. There's rounds of the relay there early on in the meet, as well as her being able to do the rounds of the 200 and the rounds of the quarter, and then come back and I think it's a 40-minute window or 35-minute window from the time the 200 finals go until the time the 400-meter starts, 4x4 starts.
And she had such a really good Pac-12 meet. You know, what do you like about how she's performing at this point in the season?
She's growing up. You know, a lot of people forget Mackenzie's a sophomore. So she's just continuing to grow up and continuing to figure out Division I track and field, as well as learning about herself. So those are always helpful things.
Similar thought pattern with Lily Burden, where you decided to put her.
Yeah, Marisa talked a lot about her doubling in the 15 and 5, and thought that it would just be better for her to run the 5.
Is that because rounds in the 1500?
Not necessarily more rounds, just overall, and how she could place would be better in the 5 than the 15.
Coach, what have you liked from DeMarcus Simpson this season?
His steadiness. Every day you get the same thing out of him, and that consistency is paying off big for him now.
And Kylie O'Connor in the Hefe.
Man, I wish we had 9 more Kylie O'Connors. You know, what a great story there to be able to tell and have her on in our program. You know, for her to just miss scoring in the Pac-12s last year in the 400 hurdles to now being 3rd in the 400 hurdles, as well as contributing to our program in the multi-events. You know, she's graduated in journalism already, and so she didn't have anything to do this spring semester. So she was like, "Hey, coach, I want to help out the team some more. So what can I do? Let's try the multi." So that's kind of how that kind of unfolded for her, and we threw in the multis, and she was able to get, I want to say, 6th place there at the Pac-12 meet. So just an awesome person, does everything you ask, does everything right, does things off the track as well as on the track. You know, she's the model kid that everybody would want in their program.
Sam Brakel, same thing. What's hot about him on the track, and what's cool about him off the track?
The cool is he's a real nerd. He's definitely super smart, and all the awards that he's gotten as far as accolades and academics is well deserved. He's gonna be somebody later on in life whenever he stops doing this track and field thing. And then on track, he's one of those seniors that has figured it out. He's on a roll right now, and we hope that continues.
He's going to be running the 1500 then.
Have you ever gotten to be in Eugene for the pre-classic, or has it always coincided?
Not in a
with
while.
another event?
Back in the very beginning when we got here, I can remember watching a few pre-classes, but not within the last 6 years or so.
What can you tell us about Matthew Maton's status? Is he still on the team? Or
Yeah, he's still on the team. Still dealing with some issues there, and so he's not competing and hasn't competed much this year. So just getting him back up in training is one of our big focuses.
What about Blake Haney? Is he taking a red shirt?
Blake Haney is redshirting.
Do you remember the last time you had an active Oregon runner compete in the Prefontaine?
Active? Ooh, no, because it's during the regionals and we're always traveling somewhere. But Blake ran really good at Occidental a week or so ago, and ran a PR, so you can see he's training well. And then I'm going to be able to, we got a call a couple days ago about him in the Prefontaine, and if we would be interested in him entering. Of course, opportunity of a lifetime to run in that level of meet against those type stars. So good for him to have that opportunity. Thanks, guys.